First, I'd like to say peace to the gods.
Welcome
To Truth Tuesday with your host, Akeem L.
He knows more than you can imagine.
the truth.
Well, the truth is, you got to get yourself together.
The truth.
The truth is, you got to get your mind right.
The truth.
The truth is, you got to get your paperwork in order. The truth is,
Hindsight Radio.
I'm listening, but are they listening?
Hindsight Radio.
What you talking about? Okay. What about Tuesday? Yo, Akeem, pick me up. Yo, turn that on, son.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you'll be able to listen to the show.
At last.
Hindsight Radio.
The truth is, it's Tuesday.
With your host, Akeem L. The truth.
Someone, and I really hope they're on this call right now, after I had explained this to them probably about literally 7 times, literally, and I think I'm understating it, asked me why when you do the Ecclesiastes Trust, some of this is new to some people. You guys are new. So when I set up Ecclesiastes Trust, I also set up a trust, a church in Legis name. So if your name, like my name is Akeem Barber, so it would be Akeem Barber Church at the end. Because I want your name to look like a religious entity. Now, this person, well, why can't it be this and why can't it be that? And they're paying me to do Ecclesiastes Trust the way I know how to do it and the way I've done mine, but they want to question why. Word of advice to everyone listening: if you're going to pay me to do something and I have a certain way that it gets done because it yields certain results, trust that. But if you can't trust that, don't pay me to do it. And you do it yourself, and hopefully it'll work out the way you want it. That's the best advice I can give. There's a reason why. Because if I could tell this certain individual did not go and watch the video about setting up the Enlegas as a church and trademark the name or a religious entity. Like my name is trademarked as a religious entity. When you go look up Akeem Barber, you'll see it trademarked. It's public record. Okay. So type it in, you can find it. So when people question me, when I say, hey, I don't take vaccines because it's against my religious freedoms or any other thing I'm doing, I'm moving, everything is according to my faith. Now, let me be clear. I don't care what you believe in. That's on you. What you could believe in this bottle of rum I got sitting here. You can believe in that, you know. But the whole idea of setting up Ecclesiastical Trust and moving everything into your religious freedoms area, because that's a protection. And for the sake of some new people that I know are here, I'll just pull up the Constitution. and this is in every constitution, pretty much at the top of the Constitution, always in the Bill of Rights, somewhere, it'll say, or Declaration of Rights, whatever document you're looking at. And since this country was founded, these constitutions was founded on religious principles, they're going to protect that with all costs. And if you exert that, you're going to, let me share my screen. You're not going to have problems too much. The only time you get pushback is from the little peons that don't know anything about religious freedoms. But you go take that to the top, nobody questions you on that. It says here, religious freedom, freedom of speech, right of assembly, and petition. This is the South Carolina Constitution, by the way. The General Assembly shall make no law respecting an establishment. Let me move this little thing off to the side. Establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech of the press. That's talking about press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government or any department thereof for redress of grievance. So they can't fight you on that. You say I'm doing this on this account, my religious freedom, that's the end of conversation. And I have experienced people questioning them in the past, and I shut it down every time with this. This is the one thing I know that works. Going to the courtroom, I'm not the straw man and I'm not the all caps. People get slammed. Now, do I go into the courtroom and make it clear that I'm not the all caps? I do, but I do it in a very subtle way. I say, this is my name, but not this. And then I state my nationality in my paperwork. I don't have to go, my name is Akeem Barber, but not this, the all caps. I don't have to do all of that. Okay? I don't have to do that. So there you have it. So the Ecclesiastical Trust, I set up a church, and then I make the church the grantor of the trust. It controls everything.
Peace to the gods. You're listening to Hindsight Radio. This is Hindsight Radio.
I represent it.
The information station changing the nation.
Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hindsight Radio, the information station changing the nation. I hope everybody's doing good out there. As for myself, my family, we're all doing great. I wanted to talk about today, repetition is the key to success. Why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about repetition is the key to success. It's not quality, it's repetition. I'm going to say it again. It is not quality, it's repetition. It's consistency. It's your dedication to come in and day out to work on your dreams. Yes, that's the key to success. See, I know a plethora. I know many people who are working on businesses, working on maybe some YouTube content. I know many of them. And tell you the truth, 99.9% of them are not successful. They're not doing well. They've been doing it for years. Let me change that. They're not doing it for years. They're not doing it for years. They've been contemplating it for years. They've been contemplating the perfection of what they want to do. They want it to look a certain way. They want it to be perfect. Oh, the other thing I forgot to say. They want the likes. They want people to like everything. And so because they have this idea in their mind that they're getting thousands of likes, that it's a great product, they will not post one video. They will not do one blog talk show. They will not write the book. They will not do whatever it is that they say they want to be successful at because they don't think it's perfect enough. Because they think that's the key to the set. That this perfect thing I'm going to put out, people are going to automatically like it. And what they're doing is they're going to look at other people's success and seeing all of these thousands of views, these everybody's liking them. But they forget one thing. Did you take the damn time to see how long it took for them to get there? How many videos did they post before they got to the thousands of likes? Because I could tell you some very successful YouTube creators created at least 100 videos before they even had 100 likes or 100 subscribers. 100. And some of these people, I watched them, they got, 1 million subscribers. But they had to create 100 crappy videos before they got even 100 subscribers. That says a lot. So is it quality that counts? Or is it your dedication and your consistency and your authenticity to your mission that counts? Because people respect that you're even trying to do something good. People are not expecting perfection out of you. Very few people. Now, you know what? The people that I noticed that want perfection out of people are the people that's not successful. I had a friend, or I wouldn't even say a friend, just an acquaintance, and they want to do content. I think they'll be very well at it, do very well at the content. They'll create it, erase it, do it all over, and they critique people's video. And I shared a video of Dr. Jennifer Daniels with this person, and if you watch her videos, it's very crude videos, but her quality of her content is top notch. The information. And they looked at this video. Oh, I don't want to watch anything from her because she just, it's boring and this and that. And, but this is talking about women's health and many healthy things, right? Now, this is a person who's critiquing someone who's got, this Dr. Dane's been out for years, and she's got, I would say, almost probably 1 million people follow her. Now, she's not on YouTube because they're always taking her content down. She's in other places, but she's very sought after. And secretly, she's probably a millionaire. But she doesn't make top-notch videos. She just delivers top-notch content. So what I'm trying to tell you, her presence, her what she does delivers saving people's lives through health information is what matters. See, it's not the perfection of the video. It's not the perfection of the book. It's not these perfection things. These people that got the perfection that you're looking at and you're admiring, and even myself, you look at me and say, "Oh man, you're doing a great job," but it took me a while to get here. I mean, I don't have one of the top YouTube channels, but I got, right up under 9,000 followers. And that's going to grow. And I guess what? If I did videos every day or more videos a week, I would probably have triple that. But I don't do videos every week. I will be. I keep saying that, but I will be. I'm going to do it. Well, right now I'm setting off this generational wealth with this trucking business and other things I'm doing. What I'm trying to say is the reason why most people are not successful, maybe reason why maybe you're not successful at what you do, because you're waiting for it to be perfect. You're not doing it for the right reason. You're waiting for somebody to like it. You're looking for accolades. You're looking for people to give you praise. I appreciate the praise. I appreciate the thanks. And I definitely appreciate your donations. They're adding to my mission through your monetary donations. I appreciate that. But I tell you what, that's not what I'm in it for. I'm not in it for your accolades and your likes and how many people like the videos. I'm not in for that. I'm in it to help you. If I can reach just a few people to change their life in thinking about themselves in a divine way, instead of the negative information that people try to pump in people's minds daily, I've done my job. Okay? See, it's repetition, consistency, dedication, loyalty to your mission that you say you are on that makes you successful. Your dedication when you fail, when you fall down, when people are not liking it or giving you negative comments, that you still push forward and you keep doing it over and over. Because you know what happens? Because every time you post a video, every time you do something in whatever craft you're doing it, you're learning and you're getting better over and over again. Maybe you're not a great orator in the beginning, but you'll learn how to be one. You keep talking, you keep doing it. I look at videos of people 10 years ago and they were doing crappy videos, but I watched them because it was interesting. And I look at them now and it's like, man, they light years ahead of where they started in the beginning. Why? Because they made the crappy videos. They made the crappy content. They went through the trial and tribulation of failing. See, too many people want to jump from nothing to success and forget about all of the work it took in the middle. First of all, let me ask you, why do you deserve to do a few things and be super successful at it when it took someone to do multiple things to become super successful at it? Why do you get to skip the process? Who are you? How do you deserve that? To skip the hard work, to skip the criticism to be successful. Why do you get that? That's selfish. And it's not realistic. So because someone doesn't like your video today, or someone doesn't like your content, or someone doesn't like what you're doing, you just gonna stop and give up. So then you was being a pussy about what you wanted to do. You was being a sucker. You said you want this, and then as soon as somebody come forward and don't like your stuff and give you some criticism, you running in and backing off it. Then you wasn't serious. And you don't deserve to be successful if you can't take that. If you can't take the negative words, if you can't take the criticism, then you do not need to be creating anything. You need to do what 99.9% of the people are doing out there. Just letting other people control their life, getting up every day, hating the job they go to, and clocking in and collect that paycheck that keep you only going on those cheap vacations, only taking the cheap flights, only buying the cheap house, only buying the cheap car, only buying your wife the cheap gifts, only buying your children the cheap gifts, and then making that excuse, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, that sounds real good when you're broke. Oh, I know I'm getting on your case because I want you to be successful. If there's just one person listening to me and they stop what they're doing and go do what I'm saying, go out there and make that mistake. Go screw it up. Go jack it up. Because through your mistakes, you're going to learn and you're going to become better. Stop letting people tell you, oh man, you shouldn't do that because of this and that. You know how many people they told that they wasn't going to be successful in schools, and they way successful than these people ever imagined? Because they did one thing. They stayed consistent to their mission, to their purpose. Can I do better? Yes. A great speaker said, and I see the clip on Instagram all the time. And it says, does practice make perfect? And he says, get rid of that ideology, get rid of that mindset now. Because no, practice does not make perfect. Practice just makes you better than the last time. Because you can always improve on the last thing you did. You can always improve on the last project you did. There's always room for growth. No, practice does not make perfect. Practice makes improvement. And that's true. And I always tell, people in my life, I've told this to my wife, I've told this to many people. Dude, just do it. Go out there and fuck it up. Go do it. I give you credit for that because you was bold enough to embarrass yourself for your purpose. See, people too afraid to be embarrassed. They worried about what people say. If anybody is laughing at you because you are looking to do better than you did the day before, then they got the problem. And those people, most of the people sitting back and laughing and making fun of you ain't doing jack shit with their life for the most part. Yes, I'm a cussing minister. Yes. If you got a problem with that, I'm sorry, but it's me. Listen to the message. What am I saying? Stop worrying about what people think. Stop worrying about someone putting a thumbs up on your content. There's millions of people out there on Facebook, and I know some of these people personally. They broke. Worrying about how much stuff costs. And they worrying about what people liking on Facebook and all these other social media thing, but they ain't got they businesses or whatever they say they want to do ain't doing jack. Because their concern is about what people think about their content. Instead of worrying about their business and just keep doing it. Okay, it didn't work, it didn't get me that result. Let me just do it. Just keep their head buried into that project, that mission. Okay, they didn't like that. Okay, so what? Keep moving forward, keep taking a step, and then next you know, you're gonna hit a breaking point. Everything has its breaking point. Every wall breaks. Okay? You keep banging on that blockage that's keeping you from that next level, it will break eventually. It has a giving point. It's testing you to see how many times you're going to bang on it, how many times you're going to crash it, how many times you're going to run into it before it falls. But when it falls and you get to the other side of that wall, you were like, wow, I can never imagine how great this is. So many walls got put up in front of me. And my biggest wall, the biggest wall you will ever face, the biggest wall you're going to ever face. Listen carefully. The biggest challenge is you, your own mind, your own adversarial thinking, your own negative thinking is going to be your biggest wall. You break that wall, then you have beat 80% of the problem. Probably 90%. I think I'm being generous. Listen, you have power in you, you have ideas. All you got to do is just do them and make the mistakes. You're going to make them. There ain't no avoid them. You're going to fuck this thing up. But you're going to learn from it. You're going to grow from it. There's no success without failure. They go together. They are husband and wife. Trust me. They are partners. Okay? They go together. Without that, think about it. You in how many relationships? You've been in a relationship and it's always beating these walls of arguments and distractions and things like that. But if you are a learning person, a person who really thinks deeply about situations, you will always learn from that last argument that you had. You will grow from it. But see, so many people get in relationships, they get in arguments, they want to run off and do things. Even myself is guilty of that. Man, it's easy to give up and go off in the corner and call, oh, I'm gonna just be alone and this and that. And then you're looking at yourself in the mirror like, wow, it'd be nice to have somebody laying next to me, someone I could talk to. Oh, because you didn't have the endurance to bang through that argument, that last argument you had. That when you really look back on it, it didn't mean anything. It wasn't really a big argument. It's just a battle of wills and who's right and who's wrong. And who cares? What matters is if you care and you love for that person and being dedicated and loyal. It's called consistency. Right. The key to success is repetition and consistency. Just keep doing it. You're going to get better. It's a process. Same thing with relationships. It's not practice to make perfect. Practice makes better. Okay, we got to do it again and keep going and keep going and keep. Next, you look back. Wow, we came a long way. See, I don't do these speeches because I just want to talk. I just want to reach that inspiration inside of you to wake it up. Stop allowing these jobs to cloud you, to stop you from being successful. Oh, I got to go do this. I got to eat. I got to do this. And we're going to make all kinds of excuses. To listen, to do your craft, to do whatever it is you have inspiration to do, you're going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to turn the TV off. You're going to have to cut off family. You might have to go into solitude for a minute. And see, in part B to this conversation is the people in your life that you call friends or people that, you really care about can be your problem too. Because see, while you're trying to work on your goals, they want to distract you into doing some type of entertainment, things that debit your pocket. It's not credit your pocket. They good for that. Yo, man, let's go hang out. Let's do this. Let's do all these things. Yeah, all that takes spending money. A lot of times they want you to foot the bill because they know you got some bread. So they only want to be in your presence because you could do for them. But the moment they see you getting to that next level and you about to leave them behind, they go, oh, come on. They come as distractions away from that. You're gonna have to say, nah, I'm y'all go handle that. I'm gonna be here and be dedicated to my purpose, my mission. That's what I'm going to do. You're gonna have to shut it down. You got even it could be wife, husband, whoever. If they're not business minded, if they're not thinking about what their path and the inspiration that they claim they have, and they can fight for things in entertainment wise. Oh, you can see that they run for that. Sit there and make it happen, but they can't make it happen for their business. You gotta let them be. Don't judge them. Just let them be and do your thing. You see, you can always show by example. See, one of the things that cause really problems, rifts in couples is one person who might be in a certain mind space and the other person is not. You're always trying to get that person over there. That's not going to work. You're not going to get them over there. They're not. If they're not there, they just leave them where they're at and you do your thing. You be an example. Maybe one day they wake up and want to do that, but don't expect that. See, the key to one of your biggest keys to uh unhappiness is having unrealistic expectations of people. Because you had these expectations, they should. No, they shouldn't do anything because that's not in their mind. What they should do is what they feel. Let them do it. And guess what? They will pay the price for that. They will. That's just how it works. They pay for it. But see, your dedication and hard work is going to pay off because why? You're going to be bringing in that bread. You see? This is, these types of missions most of the times is a singular walk. And then it becomes the other partner jump on after you get a little, some headway. But you shouldn't make it too easy for them either. Wait a minute, man. Hey, I worked hard at this. Now you got to work hard at what you say you want to do. You know? So, time 7:49. Okay, we got the New Year's ritual, which is going to be on New Year's Eve, December 31st. That is where I do this every year where we write down our goals, our aspirations, everything positive, and then we put it in a little thing and we burn it to make it, to put our intentions on it. So basically, I will send out the invite to all of the people that are on as a member of my website. I'll send that invite. Everybody's welcome. You will get the invite, and what you need is a pencil, pencil, a lead pencil, or a pencil. Period. I don't know if they're still making them as lead, but piece of paper, preferably brown paper bag, and a lighter of some sorts, and something to burn it that you don't burn down the house. And we'll do this ritual together. And I've been doing it for years now, and it's every year gets better. Every year, it's better. So that's why I continue doing. I hope that you and your family have your children join in, everyone. Last year we had families doing it together, and it gets bigger every year. And I do it on Zoom because people are in different places. One day, probably next year, I'm gonna plan for it. Next year we can do an event where we all meet up at a place, those that can travel, and we do it. So I'm gonna start planning that in January for the next new year. We also got another New Year's celebration. That's I think April or March, end of March, early April. The real New Year's, the when the season changed and things get warmer. That's the real New Year's. I'm gonna do something there too. So I need to put that on my calendar. Matter of fact, let me write it in. Let me put that in as a reminder because I will forget. Real New Year's celebration in spring. In spring. There it is. This January 1st New Year's is the corporate New Year. And it's not the months are off. And I have my dictionary here. If you look up the months of the year, they tell you what the real months are. Right? Right here. Oops. My books fell. Let me fix that. Hang on. All right. Yeah, the let's see, October. I think October is one of them. October. See what it says for October. It says October. This is in the American Dictionary of the English Language, Noah's Webster's 1828 version. You can get that off of Amazon all day long for about $70 if it's still that price. It says in here, October, 8th month of the primitive Roman year, which began in March. So the year actually began in March, right? It says that. The 10th month of the year in our calendar, which follows that of Numa Julius Caesar. So they showing you they changed the calendar. See how dates is all screwed up. See? Let's see. There was also, what was the other one? Let me see what it says for November. Let's see what it says for December. I know December is definitely the 10th month. So this whole Christ born on the 25th crap, they change the calendar as they see fit. So you don't even know what year you're really in. You see? So all you Bible thumpers claim you know the truth. You don't know the truth. They've been lying. Okay, all right, December. This being the 10th month among the early Romans who began the year in March. And right now, it's the last month in the year in which the sun enters the tropic Capricorn and makes the winter solstice. That's what December 25th is all about, the winter solstice. It's the darkest, 25th is the darkest time of the year. When. So there you have it. Now, remember what I said. Repetition is the key to success. Success. Uh, just consistency. Just staying consistent until you go. So if you want to talk to me, 563-999-3615. Press the 1 button. If I don't see a 1, I'm not opening up your mic. 563-999-3615 is running across the screen there. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. Who's out there? Antonio L. Peace. Yakakov, Skonias, peace and prosperity. Maximor, as always, thanks for the donations. Very faithful to the cause. Dow G, peace to the gods. And Maxim again. Curtis Williams. Karini, happy Tuesday. Curtis Williams, C. King Bay, peace to everyone. Beth Barber says peace. Dark Matter, Khan, I don't know what that means. DJ B Thunder, evening, everyone. 75816, peace and love to all. Just putting those across the screen. Someone said, did I miss my chance to get on the invite for the end of the year manifestation? No, you did not, because I haven't sent it out yet. No, sir. Maxim Moore has something to say. The real days and months are on the turtle back because if accurate of days, months, and years, and our ancestors knew this as a fact. Good information. 563, somebody got their hand up. Let's go get them. Let's get that. 502-548. 502-548.
Hey, Kim, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here all day long.
Okay, good.
Well,
Long time listener, Ken Wynn. I don't know if you remember my name.
oh yeah, I do remember the name. I haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, I know. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
So you may have remembered my mom from Jessica and helping her with a house.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah, that was like 20.
Yeah, it's been
18, 17.
Yeah. She's actually passed.
Oh man, sorry to hear that. I mean,
yeah, the whole COVID, I call it COVID fuck shit, but I fought through the whole thing. So it's a long story, but very long story. But so anyway, there's something I dropped the ball on something. So she was in a townhouse, and we cleaned her stuff out of the house, things that we wanted in there, and so we basically dropped the ball on contacting the leasing office about, basically letting them know that her, she wouldn't be that she's deceased or what have you, but we got a letter in the mail. Actually, my siblings have been getting a letter in the mail. Basically, let me see. I pulled it up real quick. Let's see if I can read it verbatim. So basically, we paid her rent up till in October, and basically neglected to get back to the office, letting them know that she's passed or what have you. So 2 months have passed. They're basically saying that there's a $1,300 balance for her apartment. So let me just read this. It says this is a 7-day notice to vacate the property and remove all personal property. Dear heirs of Sandra, known and unknown, we are sorry to hear about your loss relative from you that due to non-payment of rent and for the month of November and December, that we are going to have, hold on a second, next page. My brother had to actually send me this. Let's see. Hold on one second.
all right, I'm listening.
To terminate the lease of Sandra, and rent owed at this time is $1,300 for the failure to do so or make other arrangement will result in forcible detainer action being filed with which can lead to warrant of possession, which will result in all of the property property remaining in the premises being disposed of, which we're fine with that. Everything's out of there that we need.
Right.
So basically, that's the letter that was sent to all the addresses of my siblings, which there's 6.
Okay,
Just
so what's
wanting
the
to know
question
what
on that?
advice you got. Well, basically, I mean, I understand that, you know, the phrase, I just want to make sure that none of us are liable for what the goings on there.
The state is liable. So that means
Okay.
if the state is in probate, they can try to sue us in, you know, against the estate to get whatever
The
they
estate.
think they're owed. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So,
So
you
the
know, I
state
know
is
there's no
liable. So if
contract
there's
with us as
money
a
or
sibling,
anything, they
but
could, you
also,
know, they could execute against that, or you know, they'll go before the probate court and say, hey, you know, I'm a creditor and they owe me some money.
okay.
So
So as far as this letter, this letter is actually from it's from a law office.
mhm.
And so do I need to send them anything?
Yeah, well, you
Is really the
gotta
question.
let them know if you're disputing the
If he's
charges,
deceased.
you do a dispute. But the charges are legitimate. So if this say she has money in a bank account, or she has some money left over after all of her creditors are taken care of, they can go after that. Whatever money she's have or any
Okay.
property, they're saying they're gonna keep the property if you don't settle that. Is that what they're saying?
No, they're basically saying they're just going to dispose of the property, which we're
Oh, they're
fine with
gonna throw
that.
it out. Yeah, they're gonna just clean out, but then they're gonna charge you a cleaning fee.
Well, there's the deposit and all that. Who they charging for that? So it's like, I
The
guess, I
estate,
mean, we're
whoever
not liable for
you
anything.
don't have a
Yeah,
contract with them. They're not coming after you. They're coming after her estate.
yeah.
So if there's something that's in that estate that they can get to or attach to, that's what they're coming after. That's who's liable. You don't have a contract
Okay.
now. You guys, would have been good if you guys just let them know, communicated with them. Hey, she's deceased, and kept up with that. Then this problem wouldn't have got there. But basically, they're gonna come
Yeah.
after who's responsible. I mean, they could potentially come after the administrator of the estate, who's running the estate, for not doing their job, because there's a person that's responsible for letting all of the people know what's going on. So who became that? Who's become the administrator?
Well, and I'll be honest with you, we're a fish out of water. This is the first time that's ever happened to us, and 6 kids
But
and
that's
6
not the question.
offspring.
The question is, who's the administrator? Who's in charge of the estate? Who's the one that can go, if she had money in a bank account, can go get that money after they show the death certificate? Who's that person?
That would be the oldest sibling or the
So
oldest
whoever
offspring.
who was elected to do that could be responsible for not doing due diligence against the state. So they
Let me
could
ask.
potentially be
Let me,
liable.
yeah. Let me ask you, how is that even determined? I mean, as far as
That's
who's
determined
elected,
by, you go to probate court and someone it takes on that position. So, like for instance, I'm married, right? And I pass, my wife by default becomes that.
Okay.
She becomes in charge because she's the next of kin, right?
Right. So,
By
if there's
default.
no husband in
So
the
if there's
situation,
no
go ahead.
husband, then the children and whoever
Yeah.
probably the oldest sibling would be the one. But a lot of times
Yeah.
everybody comes
That's
to an
kind of
agreement and say, well, I'm gonna allow that person to do it, when it's children involved.
right.
And then I don't know what state you in, and like whatever she has, it's split equally amongst all next of kin. So
Yeah.
but that is determined in probate court. You go to probate when it's, they ask, well, how much is there a will? And if a will isn't established, then probate could take up to a year. I know in South Carolina it does. If there's
Man.
a will, it takes 6 months. And then depending on how much assets is there, how long it's gonna take to probate the estate. Oh, so but you could just call them up and ask them. You could call probate court and ask them, hey, who is the person that administrates it? And they'll tell you. They'll tell you. how it works. That's
Okay.
what I would call. I would call them, because every jurisdiction is different. I just know how it works in South Carolina because I've been through that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, we're definitely fish out of water, man. I'll tell you what.
that's the best people to call is the people
we
you're gonna
got through it,
deal
but it's
with.
horrible.
The people
Yeah.
you're gonna be dealing with, that's who you need to call. Call the probate court. Hey, there's no will, it's just us children. And then it could be that oldest sibling that is the one who's in charge. Because someone's gonna have to run that estate, close out accounts, close out bank accounts, pay off bills, do the last tax return, all of that stuff.
Do the last tax return. You mentioned some things that I didn't take into account.
Yep, tax returns,
Yeah.
that final tax return. They want that done too. All of that. Then they close out the estate. And then, like, say if there's money in a bank account, that money can only be used for the estate. And then after all the things is done, they approve it for whoever that administrator is to get whatever's in that bank account and split it up between the siblings. If there's something left.
You got any resources that you could think of that
I just gave you the resources. Probate court. Call probate court. Call the probate court in that county and ask them. That's the resource. That's what you call.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. And if y'all can't agree on who can be the administrator, guess what they're going to do? They're going to hire a lawyer for that estate to run it. If you guys can't agree. And he gets paid to do that. Mm-hmm. That's how most estates get broke, because the siblings cannot agree. And I'm telling you, by your story you're telling me, no one called the department and handled the business. It's like no one is stepping up to do the deal. And this is how things get lost. Now I'm gonna tell you something. You sure? I'm gonna just give you a piece of advice as far as what's left in that apartment. You sure you just want to let that ride? Because from my experience, older people be hiding stuff in the most curious places, and you just just from my experience, found over $5,000 in several places around the house. Cash money in different little envelopes. So where you think is trash, it's not really trash. Okay. So I would, just give that food for thought.
Yeah. Plants. Plants.
So,
I know where you're going.
Right.
I thought about all that stuff. It just, I was in the fight of my life when I heard that she went to that hospital. I could not believe that. And that's a story I'd love to tell on this line at some point in time, because I'm a fighter and I fought for her the whole way. And to be honest with you, I mean, I had their playbook and I knew what they were doing.
Did they put her on one of those, and did they put her on breathing machines?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, all that happened.
I mean, I just heard about a week ago, someone's father died, vaccinated, got COVID, and he didn't survive. So
but to be honest with you, like I said, I fought through the whole thing. But I mean, I recorded all the calls with the doctors. I mean, I was talking straight. I mean, I knew more than these guys could ever know, and it was sad. It was a sad situation, and I fought for my rights and demanded protocols be followed. They were acquiescing at some point in time, but at the end of the day, I had hospital administrators and legal teams calling me because I submitted some paperwork to them, some legal paperwork, some constitutional paperwork that locked some things up, and But at the end of the day, they basically said, we're not going to do the protocols that you're advocating for. They started to. I mean, they were telling me they were doing these things, but there's the one ivermectin, that whole thing that they were refused to implement. That they said we're following.
Well, that's not the
ivermectin.
that's they won't do that because they will lose their license, bro. Whenever you go into those facilities,
I
you're
know,
subject to what you call the standard of care. So someone else higher up is making this standard of care, and that's what they're going to follow, whether it kills the patient or not. So it doesn't
check
matter.
This out, though, King. Here's what I want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
What I found out a day before she coded that particular drug I just mentioned is actually approved on their website. All you have to do is put in the code, and I want you to write this down. If you put in on the CDC's website, NIH's website, NIH.gov, and you search ivermectin table 2E, and it will come up. It's the second drug that's mentioned, and it's actually an approved drug. They told me
okay, I hear what you're saying, and I know.
Yeah.
Because they've been using ivermectin for years for people, like when you go to Africa and all of that, that's one of the things they give you.
Yeah.
Right. So
this
whole thing that it doesn't and it's a dewormer. So what does that tell you? If that thing works and it's a deworming, so what are we really dealing with here? So
we know this problem. What I'm saying is that they have the NIH actually has a protocol that they're following. So like when I said, hey, I want you to give her high dose vitamin C, they said, well, that's not efficacy. There's no efficacy in that. Well, on they're giving talking points on the NIH, but on what they don't know is on the NIH's website, their own website, that the ivermectin is actually approved. That's what I'm saying.
I know it's been approved. I know it's approved because people have given it to certain people.
Yeah.
Because it was approved. A doctor cannot do anything outside of the protocol. So if that was not approved, then the doctor wouldn't have given it to them. They're doing it for certain people, and then in certain people they're not doing it for.
Yeah, those who are vaccinated, but those who are not. That's being, But the thing is, it is approved, and that's the crazy part. But the hospital administrators are telling them they better not because they'll lose their job. But that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I'm still in fight mode, so I don't mind talking about it. People ask me, hey, your mom's, passed, whatever. They don't know how to approach you, but I'm willing to talk about it because I know I fought through the whole thing. So anyway, that it is what it is.
My thing is stay away from hospitals.
Stay away from absolutely. And I tell everyone that I have fixed my kids, my offspring, for many years now, over 20 some odd years. We don't go to that place. Absolutely not. So
the people that have the most health issues are the ones who have health insurance.
Oh yeah.
Poor, a lot of poor people can't afford health insurance, but they're not the ones getting sick. It's the people who have middle class to upper class are the ones who get sick because they got health insurance. And this is a study, they won't reveal that study.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's very apparent. They got the best health care that they can bring. Yeah.
They got the best health care.
They try it on you.
Yeah. All right, brother. I got to move on to this next caller.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
I appreciate it.
All right, peace.
At some point in time, okay, thanks.
All right, 609-442.
Hey, what's going on, Akeem?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, let me talk about the topic you were talking about too, because I was just telling somebody there's always a sacrifice that's going to be like a fear of the unknown, where you're going to have to take that leap of faith if you want to make it to that next level, so to speak. So
absolutely,
just for the show, because you were talking about it, I'm going to mention it because it's definitely in the air to in the spirit tonight, because you talking about it, and I just got done telling somebody, because they were going through something, and I'm like, it's going to take a sacrifice, like and it's not, and it may be a hard sacrifice. You get what I mean? So
most of the hard
but
sacrifices
I
is
had
mental. They all mental hard sacrifices, not wanting to not hang out with your friends, not stopping watching television, cutting off some associations
right,
that you're doing that's preventing you from getting to the next level. That's the thing right there. The mental
absolutely,
is the
absolutely,
biggest obstacle because all of it's about saving face, right? Well, how my friends
yeah,
gonna treat me? What they gonna think about what I'm doing and stuff like, man, forget all of that. Cause then them people at the end of the day is not writing checks for your bills for the most part. So
hmm
why are we giving anything they say weight, especially if they're not successful? I give no one's word
yeah,
weight that is not doing good as least as me or
right,
better. Why? Because every
right, right.
advice they give you is putting you in the position that they're in. How can you give somebody
Yeah,
advice on
it's
what to
just
do and
different
how
energy.
to do and how to handle stuff if you're not living that? You haven't experienced any success in your business or ideas or anything. You still working on it.
hmm
So and that's the problem. We take
hmm
advice from people who are not even thinking about what we're doing or even successful at what they're doing. We need to be
Right.
connecting with people that's doing it and doing it better than you.
hmm
You got to get in it. You got to
Yeah.
at one point be the little fish in the big pond because eventually you'll become the
hmm
big fish. You see, but you have
Right.
to go into those ponds where it's flourishing and be around those people that are flourishing because that's going to rub off.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Listen. I always say, like, anything that anybody is saying, it's a spirit. So when you repeat certain things or you listen to people and subscribe, like
Mhm.
you actually take on a frequency that is on that path, that's of that path.
Mhm.
And it could be obstacles that you call into yourself and everything. So I always look at everything as, what is this person saying really? What is he conjuring? You get what I mean?
Mhm.
So, but yeah,
Right.
that's definitely what it
I
is. But
appreciate your
so
comments, brother.
yeah, for sure. Nah, it's like I said, it's in the air. I listen to you. It's off and on, but every time I do listen to you, it's always in alignment with the waves, so to speak. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, I do have two questions. I don't know if this is a private matter, but I have the personal trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I got approved for Discover It. Um, so what they sent was 4506C to verify if I filed taxes.
Oh
Have
yeah.
you
Did you?
have you experienced
Yeah.
have you
Sometimes
experienced
right
that?
now they want to prove that you have taxes if it's legitimate to see if it's legitimate. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so when I spoke to the reps, they just said that if I didn't file them, it would just come back as if I didn't file them. But I didn't want to bring up any other thing with the IRS by sending it in. So I
Well,
mean,
if
I
it's
closed
if
the
it's a
account,
new
but
trust and you haven't had a chance to file, then of course you're not going to have a 4506T.
okay.
I
So it
mean, you're
would have
not going
been
to have
cool to still
anything
send that in.
for them to look at. You have that form, but it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for real? Yeah. See, I closed the account and everything.
For what? Why?
All right, well, I made because I remember we spoke in the past about I spoke to you about Capital One before, and they were trying to verify. Oh, that's because they were trying to verify the number.
First of all,
Yeah.
what you
So
talking about
I just
needs is in the private. I don't teach that stuff openly like that. I mean, it's nothing wrong with what you're doing, but
yeah.
that's a trade secret you're trying to get me to reveal.
Oh, no, yeah, no. I'm not like
Yeah, I don't
don't talk
understand y'all.
about it. I just
Y'all don't know what to ask. Like those are things because although it's a proper way to do things, they don't want everybody knowing how to handle that. And they close the doors. That's why you're getting the
hmm
4506T because too many big people on here just talk too much.
hmm So
So
all right, so that's cool then.
Yeah, they just want to verify if you filed tax. They want to see your tax transcripts. But I don't know how you
Gotcha.
opened up that account. Did you tell them it was a trust that you were using or what?
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, they take either TIN or social, so it doesn't
Right,
matter.
but how did
Mhm.
you present yourself with the account?
Oh, I mean, I just went on there and just filled out the application. Used my address, my postal, just regular. It wasn't
Okay,
anything
this is
like
dude.
crazy.
Come
I
on,
just
man. You know better than come on and ask me questions like that. Let me move on. All right, man. Peace.
so look.
Come on. Y'all just know better than that. All right. Yeah. See, this is how things get screwed up because yeah, it's nothing wrong with what he's doing, but that's too many details. That's a trade secret on how to handle your business through trust, which I teach only in my premium membership. All right. Anybody else got anything to say? Hit the one button. I see a lot of callers, but not many hands up over here. If not, I shut it down and we'll do it again next week. I might not be able to do a show next week. I'm not sure. It just depends. Doing some traveling in the next few days. All right. Well, I'm gonna shut it down. So take heed to what I said. If you are got some content or whatever you're doing and you're just waiting for it to be perfect, you're gonna be waiting forever. Because if you really look at things that you've done in the past, you always do something and you think is perfect, and then you get it done and you put it out there. Oh man, I could have did this. That shows you can never get it perfect. It's always improvement. So remember that and go ahead. Whatever project you got going or whatever you're doing, get on it. Turn off the TV and turn off whatever distraction you got. Um and move forward in it. Oh, Mexican says he's gonna be passing through Charlotte. Well, if you don't get here by Friday or Saturday, well, Saturday I'm leaving for a few days. So anytime before that, we might be able to catch up, bro. All right. All right. With that being said, peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all.